من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Inshallah, today we will talk about the types of ma, anwa'u ma. Everybody is familiar with this word ma. It's used in Quran very often. And most of us, if not all, are already familiar with most of what we will talk when I will share with you information on the types of ma. So without any further delay, I will just start with the first type of ma. And this ma is called ma istifhamiyah. Ma istifhamiyah. This ma is used for asking questions. Like, for example, I say, ma ismuka. What does that mean? Anyone?
What is your name?
What is your name, right? Ma ismuka. What is your name? So I asked a question. This is a question. And the ma used in this question at the beginning, ma ismuka, that ma is ma istifhamiyah, because that ma is used to ask a question. So istifham, istafhama yastafhimu istifham. And from that word istifhamiyah is made. To ask, to understand, faham, understanding. To ask, to understand, meaning asking questions. So the first example of inside Quran I wrote here, it is used quite often in Quran. And the first example I wrote is, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا مُوسَى. Can anybody translate that for me? Brother Naeem, would you mind?
Yeah, sure. And what it is? What is this?
No. Tilka.
That front of you. Front of
Yaminika, your right hand.
Your right hand, Ya Musa.
Oh Musa.
Oh Musa.
And what is that in your right hand, Ya Musa? So Brother Naeem, the ma used here, this ma.
Yeah.
This ma will be called, what type of ma it is?
It is ma istifham.
Istifhamiyah. Because this ma is used to ask a question.
Like this is a question, like we learn in the ismiyah. So in the ismiyah sentence, we learn that when we make like a sentence as a what is called interrogative. This is that one.
Yeah, we can use ma. So that ma is istifhamiyah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go to the next example. I will just go through this quickly because we all already know this. So we don't need to go into really spend too much time on this. Anyone else? Brother Ashar, would you mind doing the next one if you are online?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Wama adraka ma laylatul qadr.
Yeah.
And what you know?
No. What will make you understand?
Okay. What will make you understand what is the night of
power?
Okay.
Night of power. Yeah. And what will make you understand what is the night of power? So there's a ma here and then another ma here. So what are these ma's? Ma istifhamiyah.
Istifham.
Can you do the next one also?
Yeah. قال يا إبليس ما منعك أن تسجد.
Mhm.
Uh, he said, "O Iblis, what is
What forbade you
what forbade you to uh, to prostrate?"
to prostrate? That you prostrate or to prostrate. Good. So again, this is a ma that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used this in this ayah to ask Iblis a question because he was asked to prostrate and he didn't. So Allah asked, why? What forbade you? Why you didn't do it? So this is another example of ma istifhamiyah. Now, moving on. Sometimes ma istifhamiyah loses its alif. When does that happen? Like in the next example, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu lima taquluna ma la taf'alun. So originally what it was, li plus ma, like written here. Li plus ma is equal to not lima, it is lima. So the alif that was with ma is gone. It's not there anymore. So this happens when a harf is attached to a ma istifhamiyah. It happens sometimes. So li for ma what? For what? Meaning why. For what? Which is the same as why. So, oh, those who believe, why you say what you don't do. So this ma is not ma istifhamiyah. This is some other ma. Inshallah, we will learn in the next types. What is that ma? So this ma, when attached to a harf, loses its alif. And lima means why. For what? Meaning why. Another example of the same thing. Amma yatasaalun. Right? So this was what? Amma is made up of, I made a mistake here. This should be amma, not lima. So an plus ma should be amma. Hmm? And an means about, ma means what? So when they combine, it becomes amma. Right, written. Just focus here instead of this lima. Amma, do you see it lost its alif? So the same thing happened. About what they are asking each other. Yeah, asking each other. Tasa'ala, yatasa'alu, yatasa'aluna. Moving on. إن الذين توفاهم الملائكة ظالمي أنفسهم قالوا فيما كنتم. Again, fima. It is made up of fi plus ma. And when they combine together, alif is lost. Again, same phenomena. And it becomes fima. So this ma istifhamiyah. Indeed, those who the angels cause them to die while they are wronging themselves. They said, the angels said, Fima kuntum, in what you were, in what condition you were. So this is something asked by the angels. So this ma is again ma istifhamiyah, and it lost its alif because it is attached to a harf. So two variations, ma just regular ma, and ma when comes with a harf, and then it loses its alif. This is all about ma istifhamiyah. Any question?
How
No?
do we recognize that this is ma istifhamiyah or some other ma? Is there any
Well, that's where you have to spend some time on it.
okay.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking rules.
There's nothing in the ayah other than like another word that comes with it or something like that. You have to
Okay.
try, see if it is
depends
ma
on
istifhamiyah. If
okay.
not, they see maybe it is ma nafiya, which is next, or another type of ma.
Okay.
We have to try to translate it different ways
Mm-hmm.
and see which one makes the best sense. Inshallah, as you do more, then it will become so easy with time. You will not have to spend much time on figuring out what type of ma it is.
Okay. Good.
Next one, ma nafiya. Again, this is a ma everybody knows already. Ma nafiya means what? Means not. Nafiya, which does nafi of something. For example, like the first one I wrote, وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. Wa and ma not. Allah. And Allah is not unaware of what they do. This is ba zaida. We already know this ma and b combination. This is used for a, a categorical negation, a very strong negation of something. And Allah is not unaware of what they do. And we can go to the next example. ما أصاب من مصيبة إلا بإذن الله. Brother Arshad, would you mind doing this for me?
But not.
Is Brother Arshad with us? Or not anymore? Brother Farhan.
Assalamu alaikum.
What? Okay, Brother Arshad is back. All right.
Sorry. Actually, my problem with the voice actually initially.
Okay.
Ma not asaba hit or strikes.
He targeted.
He targeted mean any musibatin disaster or calamity illa except bi-izni with the permission Allah with the permission of Allah.
All right.
No calamity befalls except with the will of Allah.
With the Allah. So ma came with illa. So when ma comes with illa, it normally means not. Not any calamity, any musibah target, except with the permission of Allah. So ma illa combination, ma be combination. When it happens, ma means what? Ma means not. And when this is just a regular ma nafiya, it doesn't have a combination here. وَمَا يَضُرُّونَكَ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. And not they will harm you a thing, anything. From a thing means not even a tiny bit. And they will not harm you a thing. Not at all. So this is ma nafiya. We already know this, so I don't want to spend too much time unless there is a question about ma nafiya. So we talked about ma istifhamiyah so far. The ma used to ask question. And then ma nafiya, which means not. And the third one is ma mausulah. Brother Abdul Khalik or Brother Akhtar, I think, I'm not sure who taught this, but it was asma mausulah. They were taught. Allazi, allazina, allati, allati, or allai. And ma and man, I believe, was included in it. So we already know about this ma. This ma is mausulah. Ma mausulah comes with a sila. It is normally connected to a jumla, a sentence, could be jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya, or it is attached to a shibhu jumla. Shibhu jumla is jar majroor or special mudaf and its mudaf ilayh. Okay, so I say it again. Ma mausula comes with a sila, and silatul mausul. And that sila is a jumla, a sentence, or it's a shibhu jumla, meaning a jar majroor or special mudaf and mudaf ilayh. And when ma mausula and its sila when they are combined, then they play a role in a sentence. Okay, when ma mausulah and its sila, they are joined together, they play a role in the sentence, and their role could be a file, maf'ul, mubtada, khabar, sifa, mudaf ilayh, ismu inna, majroor. It could play any of these roles in that jumla where ma mausula comes with its sila. And within the sila, there is normally an aid, which is a damir, which ties it back to the uh, to the ism mausul, to the ma. Inshallah, we'll talk when we talk about more about this. It will be clear. This ayat could be attached, detached. It could be inside the fail, or it could be implied. May not exist there. Okay. Ayat means the one who returns. So ayat is a damir that returns to the ism mausul, the ma, in over here. For example, the example is وَلَا تَنْكِهُ مَا نَكَهَ آبَاؤُكُمْ min nisa. وَلَا تَنْكِهُ, and you do not do nikah, you do not marry. مَا نَكَهَ, what married, آبَاؤُكُمْ, your fathers, what your fathers married. Min nisa'i, from the woman. So this ma here is ma mausulah, and nakaha aba'ukum min nisa'i. This whole sentence is its silatul mausul. Okay, and what is its role now? Can anybody tell me what is the role of ma nakaha aba'ukum min nisa'i? Anybody? Is it fa'il, maf'ul, mubtada? One of these. The list here.
File.
It's maf'ul.
Sorry?
It's maf'ul.
Mubtada or file. Both same.
Is it what? Say it loud.
File.
No,
It's maf'ul.
it is not fa'il. See, Allah is saying, do not marry. You all do not marry. Do not marry who?
Khabar.
So the answer is, do not marry the woman whom your fathers have married. So this ma nakaha aba'ukum min nisa'i is all this long, this phrase is a maf'ul. For example, somebody says, don't marry. Don't marry who? So the answer is ma nakaha aba'ukum min nisa'i. So this is maf'ul bihi. Answer of the question what? So this, and maf'ul is always mansub. So ma nakaha aba'ukum min nisa'i is maf'ul, and it is mahallan mansub. Mahallan means in the place of mansub. There should be some, because it is a maf'ul, and maf'ul is always mansub. So we will say this ma nakaha aba'ukum min nisa'i is mansub. Next example. Sabbaha lillahi ma fi samawati wal ard. What does this mean? Sabbaha. Sabbaha, he glorified. Lillahi, for Allah. Ma fi samawati, what is in the skies and the earth. Whatever is in the skies and the earth, glorified for Allah. Can anybody tell me now? This, okay. The question is this ma mausulah with its sila. Now its sila is a jar majroor. You see, fis samawati wal ardi, jar majroor. So this ma with its sila is playing a role. What that role is here?
It's fine.
Fa'il, very good. It is the outside word of sabbaha. Ma fis samawati wal ardi, the whole thing, sila, ism mausul and its sila, it has become an outside door of sabbaha. So this is file now. And what is the status of file? Nafa, rafa, nasab or jar.
Rafa.
Fa'il.
Marfu.
Fa'il should be rafa, the outside door,
Should be
right? So ma fi samawati wal ardi, what is the status of this whole thing? Rafa,
Rafa.
mahallan rafa, and it is the outside door of sabbaha. So in the first example, the ma mausulah and its sila together was playing the role of a maf'ul. In the second example, it is playing the role of a fa'il. Okay, we haven't talked about aid yet. So inshallah, in the third example, we will talk about the aid.
So Rafa mean marfu?
Marfu.
Okay.
مرفوع. ذلك تأويل ما لم تستع عليه صبرا. ذلك, that, تأويل, interpretation, explanation. ما, what, lam, not, تستع, you are able, عليه, upon it, sabra, patience. That is the interpretation of what you were not able to have patience upon. Okay, I do that again. That is the interpretation of what you were not able to be patient upon. What is the role? So ma is ism mawsul, lam tasti' alayhi sabra. This is a sentence, jumla is fi'liya, and this ma mawsula and its sila together are playing a role in this sentence. What is that role?
it is cover.
No. I give you the list again. Fa'il, maf'ul, mubtada, khabar, sifa, mudaf, ilayh, ismu inna, and ajr, majroor rather. So what is the role of ma lam tasti' alayhi sabra?
مفعول.
Okay.
Anybody else? Listen, I was kind of trying to emphasize this. That is the
Garbage.
interpretation of Baytullahi, house of Allah.
Mudaf al-majroor, yeah.
Mudaf lah.
Yeah, so tawil is mudaf and ma lam tasti' alayhi sabra. This whole thing is what?
Mudaf alayh.
Mudaf ilayhi. Very good, brother Azhar. So this ism, this ma mausulah with its sila plays a role in the sentence, and we used three examples here. Over here in the first example, it was the playing role of maf'ul. Over here, it was playing the role of fa'il. And over here, it is playing the role of mudaf ilayhi. So ma lam tasti' alayhi sabra, what is its status? The whole thing.
Majroor.
Majroor. Because mudaf ilayhi is always majroor. So this is majroor. Now we will talk briefly about the aid. You see, there is a he here, alayhi. This he is an aid. Because I did not even translate it. Do you see? That is the interpretation of what you were not able to have patience upon. I didn't say upon it, because that will be wrong English. This he is a requirement of Arabic language, not of English language. So that's why we will not translate it. But this he is an aid, which returns to ma. It is like a hook that connects the sila to the ism mawsul.
Brother, could you explain this one? How do you know about this one? This is a mudaf alayh.
Because if you try to make it some other mudaf, this ma, some other ma, like ma istifhamiyah, it will not make sense. If you make it ma nafiya, it will not make sense. You try different things, and then you reach a conclusion. that which ma it is. Okay, because this tawilu is, you see, is light. Is it not light?
Yeah.
It is not tawilun. It is light. It doesn't have an al with it, does it?
No.
It has all the signs of a mudaf.
Mm.
It meets the two conditions of mudaf, does it not?
Yes.
Right? So that's why if this is mudaf, this meets the conditions of mudaf, and we can treat this as mudaf ilay, then we can say tawilu is mudaf, and malam tasti alayhi sabra is mudaf ilay rather. So tawilu and this phrase make mudaf ilay, and together they become a khabar of dhalika. Dhalika is mubtada, and this is a jumla ismiyah.
Yeah.
Make sense or no?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah.
It makes sense, right? So that's why over here it is mudaf ilay.
Yeah.
Over here you see, you don't see an ayat here, because this is implied. It is implied. It is actually ma huwa fi fis samawati wal ard. That is a hidden huwa here, which we could say that is the ayat. Over here, the inside he here of nakaha, that can be treated as ayat. You don't have to worry too much about ayat, because it may exist, it may not exist. But even if it exists, we normally don't translate it when we are translating it into English. Okay, so it's 28 minutes after 10, so I will stop here. So we discussed how many types of ma here?
3.
3 types of ma. Ma istifhamiyah, ma nafiya,
Nafiya and
ma
mausulah.
mausulah. And we already know about these ma. We have learned about them already. So if there are any questions now, we can talk about that. Otherwise, we are done with the first part.
How many types of ma do we have?
How many types of ma?
Yeah.
Well, over here I have one more, ma shartiya, so that's number 4. Ma ta'ajjubiyya, 5. Ma zaida, 6. Ma masdariya, 7. And ma zamaniya,
Oh.
8.
Yeah.
But this may not be an exclusive, like a complete list. Some may have more, but this should be sufficient for us.
I have a question. Can you go to the first page? So in the ma nafiya, the first example, وَلَا تَنْكِحُوا مَا نَكَحَ آبَاؤُكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ. No, ma mausulah, I mean. So ma nakaha abaukum min an-nisa is maf'ul bihi, right?
That's right.
Answers what's the question?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So ma nakaha abaukum min nisa'i is jumla, maf'ul bihi, as Ibrahim is saying. Jazakallahu khair, Ibrahim. So any questions, brother? On the 3 types of ma, we didn't learn. I mean, we already know most of it. Was mostly revision. So any questions? No? All right. So I guess you understood most of it. So.
And what about this one? Sabbaha lillahi ma fis samawati wal ard. What is this type of, how we can say like this one, maf'ul bihi, and this one, ma fis samawati wal ard.
Sabbaha means he glorified.
He glorified.
He did tasbih. When he or she is the inside doer, there could be,
we should look at,
there could be an outside doer. So let's look for an outside doer. Lillahi cannot be an outside doer, right?
Yeah, it's not a marfu.
It's jar majroor.
Yeah.
Let's look at the next one. What is in the skies and the earth? Right? Ma fi samawati wal ard. Could this, now the question is, could this whole thing be the outside doer? Could this be?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yes.
Right? And it can be. What is in the skies and the earth glorifies for Allah. Right? So because ma fi samawati wal ardi is the outside doer of sabbaha,
Mhm.
And in other words, it is a file. And
Okay.
what is the status of file?
It's marfu.
It's marfu. So the status of this whole thing is rafa. It's a mausul and it's sila together. Its status is rafa. It
And
is
we
marfu.
have over here mubtada as well in this sentence.
This is a jumla fi'liya, brother.
Jumla
Jumla
fi'liya,
fi'liya
no
doesn't have a mubtada.
mubtada, yeah.
Yeah. It has a file, maf'ul, and a fail. Any other thing? Okay, so we will just conclude this part and go to the next part, inshallah.